I was running the line at the plywood mill, a job that paid the bills, but nothing more. Then I caught wind of a job way up north, where the pay was worth the flight to the door. So I packed up my bags, I chased the dream way up to the frozen Alaskan soil. But the cold soon got old, and I ran into an old friend, trading cash for a whole lot of toil. That friend was a musician, said he was through heading back home to Oregon State. He was taking the train through the Canadian Rockies. I traded my plane ticket for fate. The scenery was grand and the journey was long, 2 extra days of peace in the air. With pine trees and mountains I watched the world turn, not knowing the trouble that was waiting right there. And I walked in the door 2 days ahead of schedule, settled down in my old living room chair. Was watching the news, thinking life was just perfect, breathing that sweet Oregon air. And then the bell rang loud, and I opened the door. Standing right there was a friend with a wine. He looked like he'd seen a dead man, his eyes wide, and he stammered that unforgettable line. He said, "What are you doing home?" I said, "Calm as a lake, son, I live here." My wife ran to the back, but I held my ground with a quiet invitation to come near. That was the first time the truth went unsaid, but I carried the cost of the blame. I told him I live here, but I knew deep down my life would never be the same. He stood there with that bottle, we made small talk, but the quiet was heavier than lead. He made a quick excuse and then rushed for the door, and I never saw that man again. It is said I knew the truth then, but the marriage was broken, the trust was a thing of the past. I can't claim perfection, I walked down dark roads, but that relationship just couldn't last. The consequence landed and broke up my home, and it alienated both of my sons. They thought it was my fault, they placed all the blame, but I never told them what had been done. I kept the high road for them, I swallowed the truth, and I carried that burden alone. I had done things I wasn't proud of back then, on a broken path I had painfully sown. I kept the high road, I carried the truth, when all they could hear was the noise. Yeah, I wore the blame to protect what was left, and I paid the price for my boys. They asked me a question right there at the door. I gave them a short, simple line: "What are you doing home?" "Son, I live here." That high dollar silence, the truth was all mine. Years later I was traveling, playing music full time, and the road was my new only friend. And just like the first time, I came home to find that a promise had reached its sad end. I walked in the club, saw my wife holding hands. Then a few days later I drove in from a run, found him saying goodbye right inside my own house, right there in the afternoon sun. I tracked him down later, I asked for the truth, sat him down in the cab of my car. I said, "Do you love her?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Are you willing to raise my boys and take on the scar?" He said, "No," with a shudder, and I gave him the word: "Then you walk away and never look back. If I ever see your face around here again, you'll be riding a different kind of track." It took years of wandering and one more divorce to finally find the right way to live. That old life is burned down to ashes and dust, but I learned how to truly forgive. Now 25 years later, my good wife and I, we got no more drama or lies. And my beautiful children, my grandbabies too, they are the light in my heart and my eyes. The hard road I walked was long and it was dark, but it led me right here to this day. The cost of the silence was high on the soul, but I wouldn't trade it